Welcome to the Shoe in the Breeze Conversation with the DJ podcast with your host, Eric Lee and Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas.
What's up, Lo?
What's up, E. Lee?
You the man. Oh, man, we're going to joke you in a minute.
You going to joke me?
Me and Vito going to joke you in a minute.
How you going to joke me?
Welcome to Shooting the Breeze Conversation.
How you joking me when I'm doing some innovative ish over here?
I know. We're going to talk about it, though.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. I'm yours truly, Eric Lee, and you are?
Lorenzo Ice-T to the Thomas. We're going to see how this works out.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna have a good time tonight. You know, it's always crazy when we get together. And we want to let everybody know, well, we're about to do right now is, of course, we're going to bring on another gentleman or sister or somebody in the industry that we always know. And the cool thing about it is the brother that we're bringing on right now, we always talk about the people that we put on the shows. Not, you know, somebody we just, you know, grabbed and pulled on the show. It's people that we actually know. And this show is going to be hilarious. So, yeah, because we called Vito out one time, a couple of times on the show. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. But welcome to Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. We get a chance to do our thing each and every Thursday. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, make sure that you hit the subscription button as well as the notification button. Lo, I got a new microphone, dude.
Oh, I see you. Okay.
Yeah, baby. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm rolling now.
I got some new stuff I'm working with over here too.
Okay, all right. So this is where we get down and have a good time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we get a chance to bring on this brother. I've known this guy a long, long time, and so has Lorenzo. Vito has worked with multiple artists. He's worked with multiple labels. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my man Vito.
Oh.
What up?
What up?
What up, Vito?
What up, Ice-T?
What's happening, man?
So what issue you got going on, bro? I heard you talking all that smiggity smack. What's up? What you got going on?
That's directed at you, E. Lee.
Oh, no. We were looking for Lo. We were like, okay. I said, Vito, Lo gonna come in right about 1 minute prior to the show start. He's gonna come flying in. And I'm like,
He came in right at the last minute.
I'm working on something, man. I got it streaming on IG, but I have the dimensions are not right on IG based on what I got here. So I'm on IG. Yeah, we're on IG right now, E.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
What's up, IG family?
What up, IG?
It's looking a little crazy though. It's looking a little crazy. I got to fix something. But you know, you don't know it until you try it. So now that you see it, I'm like, all right, I got to go back and fix some things. But yeah, we on there right now.
That's what's up. So Shooting the Breeze Conversation with the DJ. Me and Lorenzo get a chance to talk to some of our friends. Yes, and this goes without being said. Vito, a friend.
Lee, what's happening, Captain? How you doing, man?
We go get right into it, man. How'd you start in the business, bro?
Man, it was like 90, 91, 92.
Right.
I started out the old school way with internships. If you
remember
internships. So I got my internship at the distribution houses. And back in the day in Greenbelt, Maryland, it was the Polygram distribution. And with Polygram, it was the Warner Brothers, the Mercury Records, all that stuff. And then from there, I bounced over to BMG. And that's when BMG really blossomed because they had more of the newer mainstream acts coming out. That's when Arista hit with LaFace and Bad Boy and the whole 9 yards. So I grew from that internship in the office stuff, doing the packing and mailing. You know, you got to do the mail outs for the DJs and the record stations. I was doing all that. But then a brother took me under his wing, and I owe him props to this day. Shout out to Mr. Steve Washington at Arista Records.
Oh, the grip.
Yeah.
That he enabled me, and he said, you know what, V, I'm dealing with the radio, with the program directors, music directors, and all that kind of stuff. I need you to go on the street and build me a story with these records. And so he gave me all the material I needed, all the records. And back then, you know how CDs was like $12.99, $15.99, $16.99.
Right.
And you give a cat that's 20 years of age, a box of 30 CDs. So I'm hitting the clubs like crazy. I'm all in the streets. I'm blessing everybody I can bless to get these records to. And from there, I just developed great relationships with everybody from the people, the cooks, the security guards, all the DJs, and I just ran the gamut all up and down the DMV, bro. And that's how I got my intro into the business. And from there, it just grew.
Okay.
It grew, man.
That's what's up. So,
yeah,
getting into the business. Yeah, man. Look here. We're going to talk about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So, when you got into business, and like you said, you had a mentor. It's so funny now because it's hard to find young people. Because Lorenzo and I, of course, we're still in the business.
Yeah.
But from our end, man, it's hard to find people that want to grind like that anymore. They want to get in and become the vice president in 2 days and not go through some of the things that we had to go through.
Different generation, bro.
In order to get there.
Different generation. Like today's generation, the newer generation, should I say, where did this sense of entitlement come from? It's like everybody wants it. It's the instant microwave mentality. And so my thing is that for me, it was more or less where I lost my train of thought. Was a question you asked me real quick?
We're talking about.
I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, man, you showed that real quick, Vito.
Yeah, real quick.
Like,
real
man,
quick.
we ain't even 5 minutes in yet.
We're talking, the fact that young folks want it right now.
They want it right away. They want it right away. He's a mentorship. And I got to be honest, I'm very frank. I'm straight up. And when I got into business, I was only 21 years of age. And so I didn't realize the importance of the mentorship and the mentor at that time. Right. And in my career, I can't lie, man, I've been super blessed because I've worked with some heavy hitters in the industry. I mean, cats that are like, what do you call it? The Legends Dinner. They still do that to this day.
Yeah.
All those cats that got awards, I actually worked with those individuals. I remember I got my first job with Eric Thrasher, A.D. Washington, Martha Thomas Fry.
Right.
I worked with Ernie Singleton.
Yeah.
He was the one that gave Diddy his deal at he gave Chucky Thompson his deal. Chuck Light at Epic Records.
Yeah.
That was that situation. I worked with Mark Boyd, Hilda Williams.
Oh, Hilda. Yeah.
Yeah, Hilda.
Shout out to Hilda.
Yeah, for real. Hilda. I worked with Snoop when he did Doggy Style Records. He got with TVT Records.
Right.
He started his first label. So I worked with Calvin, Mr. Snoop Dogg. Actually had to work with him a little bit.
For sure.
And then after that, I worked at Virgin for a minute, stint at Virgin Records.
Right.
And then from there, when I was in the Carolinas a long time ago, I started an independent street company called Street Connections.
Okay.
And this was back like in the early 90s. This is when they first started really doing the independent thing in the streets. And I ended up getting 16 accounts. So I worked for 16 different labels from the big six to all the smaller subsidiary labels. So I worked with the whole gamut from the early 90s. It wasn't an artist I really didn't touch, bro.
It has to.
Seriously. Seriously, I got so many stories. It's crazy, man.
We're going to talk about some of them. So Lorenzo and I have been talking about the fact that hip hop turned 50.
Yes.
And your contribution to it, and to think that it got turned to 50 years old. How do you feel about your contribution to what everybody's talking about for the last for the next 365 days, or what's left of hip hop turning 50?
You know what's crazy? The shirt I'm wearing.
Wu-Tang, baby.
I helped break them. Yep. I helped break them when they first came out. So
have you had that shirt that long? Does it go back? Have you had it that long, or is that a new one?
This is a new one, but I've had numerous Wu-Tang shirts, bro.
Oh, remember the hoodies? Remember the hoodie? Oh, my goodness. Yes, man. Yes. The hoodies were dope.
Don't make me go downstairs and get my Wu-Tang shirt.
Go. You know exactly where it is?
I know exactly where it is.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it right now.
Vito, go talk to Vito.
I'm going to talk to Vito. Man, Vito. It is,
Lorenzo.
Yo, it is good to see you, bro. It is. I see you. You and Eric have been talking for a little bit, man. But how you doing, dog? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. The fact that you guys reached out to me to do this, I haven't reminisced and talked about music in years, bro.
Man.
So this is like taking me way back, and to see your face and to talk to you takes me back to days we were hanging out at Impact conventions.
Right.
Ago, dog.
And Eric and I, man, and this is the way that, we want to give our friends their flowers. This will be documented. You know what I mean? So everything that you say about your life and your career, there are going to be things that people learn about you that they didn't know. So that's what this is about. And we want to basically go back and talk to the people that we worked with, but it wasn't even like working together back then. It was all about relationships and friendships and being family. And the family reunions were the conventions.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Which convention did you feel as if there was the most camaraderie around? I mean, you had the artists, you had the program directors, the DJs, and thank you. My daughter brought me my cord here, so my phone's about to die. But talk about which conventions you enjoyed the most.
Truthfully, the one that's most impactful for me was the one I mentioned. I said the Impact convention.
The Impact?
That was
okay.
the one that, in my opinion, it drew the biggest bang. Everyone came out for that one, like all the big labels. There you go.
Ooh.
There you go.
Continuous jam.
Oh man. So they wait. Hold on. He had the personalized Wu-Tang shirt for Power 92.
Exactly.
Dang.
That's CDX. Yep.
Oh man, that's crazy, E.
CDX,
that is crazy. I mean, I had the authentic one that came from the label. You know, it was embroidery, it was stitched. I got some pictures with it. I don't have the hoodie any longer. You know, all the traveling up and down the East Coast I've done over the years, man, trying to hold on to stuff. But E, talk about how authentic that is, because that's got the radio station call letters on it, and it's representing the Wu.
Yep.
Let me tell you, I kept saying like, yeah, I knew where it was, boy. If you see my floor in my bedroom as I pulled out, I'm like, where's this damn shirt at? I know it's right here somewhere. But the thing about it is, we were blessed to be, you know, when we talk about hip hop turning 50 and being at the genesis of so many huge groups like, you know, Naughty by Nature, Wu-Tang Clan, all of those folks performing. The record companies would, from time to time, do specific stuff for the radio stations. And one of the things that they did for the station I was working with at the time, WCDX, every radio station east of the Mississippi starts with a W. So the record companies put together for each radio station. Yeah. And then they put our slogan
on the back. Yeah.
On the back.
Wow.
So I never got rid of this shirt. Cut the sleeves out, whatever. I'll never get rid of this shirt.
Wow. I see the Loud logo in the back. I still have the loud, it was like, I guess a little carrying bag. It was red, white, and blue. Yeah. Do you remember that, E?
I remember that.
It was red and blue. It looked like a Fila logo was on there or something. But I have it. I think I have it in storage somewhere. But that's a throwback.
Yeah, boy, y'all got me.
Y'all remember? Was it Renee McLean that was at RCA Loud?
Yeah. He's
the one that gave me the contract. I remember that.
Yeah, but you know what was so funny during that time? Like, you know, wearing those record company logos, we walked around with a sense of pride as if those logos were as popular as wearing, saying, like a Sean John or a Rockaware, whatever or you know, Levi's. Those logos had the staying power and the stock similar to those brands that were sold at the stores. You know, if you had the Def Jam jacket, man, you was
Def Jam jacket.
You would be official, and you'd have to watch your back when you're out in the streets too.
Well, mine got copped. Yeah. My name is on my Def Jam jacket, and it was still stolen.
Actually, it was more prestigious because you couldn't go to stores and buy them.
Right.
You had to know somebody to get them.
Right.
So when you wore the label stuff, you kind of stood out from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
My Janet Jackson's jacket got stolen. The one with Janet on it.
Y'all missed out on the Janet Jackson. I remember when I had Janet in DC.
Oh, I had the Janet Jack. Damn it, the Janet Jack.
Oh, he can't even say it, bro. He can't even say it.
The Janet Jacket. The one that said Janet across. The brown one with the brown Janet.
I remember all of them. I know all the stuff.
Vito, was that the Velvet Rope Tour?
Velvet Rope Tour.
Ooh, wait. Is that when I ended up in the hotel room?
Yes, sir.
Oh!
Hey, this ain't for the kids tonight.
I remember that because I still have a picture I took backstage. It was Huckabee. Daryl Huckabee.
Yep.
It was the old Live Squad. It was P. Stu, Pooch Man, and Steph Lover. Wow, there we go, bro. There we go, bro.
Look at the crew. Look at us. Look at us young.
Yo, that was young. That was family.
Yeah.
That's family right there.
Look at us kids.
I know, right?
And that's at the that's in Miami. Is that in Miami?
Yeah.
In Miami?
In Miami. Impact in Miami.
Oh my goodness. That's right. Okay.
Wow, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Thank you. Whoever put that up, man, I appreciate that one. That brought back good memories.
Yeah. I got this picture. This is my picture, E. I think. Right? I mean,
actually, I stole it off of Vito's page.
Okay, all right. We shared it, man.
We shared it all over the place, man.
Yeah, exactly. I know I have it. So, man, these were great times. It's me, Lisa, Huckabee, Dion. Oh, yes, man.
Yeah.
Lisa.
That's when I had hair. I could
right.
You know.
And that goatee coming in real nice there.
You can grow the goatee, but it's a lot grayer than it is black.
My man DL. I haven't seen DL in years. I got to reach out to David. I haven't seen DL.
David. I catch him every blue moon.
Yeah, David's still doing his thing, bro.
Yeah. But
what picture right there, bro?
But the Velvet Rope Tour, when Janet came through DC.
Yes.
I
had her. I remember that.
But I still got the interview with her.
Oh, you do?
I got that interview.
Was that Usher on that show? Or was that
I don't know. I didn't make it to the show.
No, it wasn't.
I didn't care. I was in the hotel room with Janet.
He was in the hotel.
And you remember? Was feeding her strawberries, Vito?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And gave us some of my Lorenzo collection shirts.
You sure did, bro.
At the end of the interview, I had about 3
shirts.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Yeah.
And I remember after the interview, I gave her a couple of shirts. And of course, you know, Janet is famous for wanting to show off her cleavage, right? Yes. So I had another shirt, basically one that had my name across my chest. And then the other ones was like a keyhole shirt. So it would push up her breast here, right? But it was like a medium. So I said, oh, Janet, this might not be your size. So I'll take this one back and then I'll give you these. But she said, but Lorenzo, it's, you know, I her soft-spoken voice. She was like, but Lorenzo, is it okay if I have that one too? And I was like, yeah, duh. I mean, Janet Jackson could just have someone tailor it to fit, but it was a keyhole. So, you know, she would wear her, man, it's just like, yo.
Memories.
It was just like that. Yeah, that was. And if anyone that I've ever met that I was really nervous about meeting, because it was Janet, because the first time I met her was when Eric and I were in Richmond. It was the Rhythm Nation tour. Right. And I remember this. Eric, if you can find that picture somewhere, you probably can't even pull it up, but it was a picture like the black and white, right? Aaron is in it, Gary is in it. Yeah, and all these other people are in it. But you know, I was doing overnights at the time, so I ain't had my stock wasn't too high. So I said, yo, I'm getting in this picture. So I kneeled down right in front, right next to Janet. I said, I'm getting in this. And in fact, a girl I was dating was in the picture too. So she's standing above me and I'm kneeling down, like, and Janet's like right here, you know, so I'm eye level. So that time, but my heart was beating so fast. So before we went into the hotel room to do the interview, I'm standing outside asking myself, yo, am I going to be as nervous as I was the first time I met her? And my heart started beating real fast and I got nervous. And then once I walked into the hotel room, he's like, yo, dog, you in the hotel room with Janet Jackson. Yeah. You got to be cool right here. And then and I sat right next to her because that's when I had we had the recordable DAT players. Yeah. So the interview was done with me sitting here and we're going back and forth like this. Right. And she's eating strawberries and dipping it in whipped cream, and I dipped it and fed it to her. And then
Yo,
He had social media back then.
he had the time of his life, man.
Man, and then she got me tongue-tied because I asked her about, I don't remember you singing about anything about strawberries. And she said, why? Because you're trying to get to the sensual part of it?
Oh, Lord.
And I'm talking about shoulders. We're this close. I'm like this.
You gotta
like
have that interview somewhere. You still
I
got
got it. I got it. But being this close to Janet, because I had the mic, so we had to share the mic. So we were like this, and she was eating. She's like, she just turns to me and says, "So, you want to get down to the sensual part of it?" And she knows what she's doing. You know, give it a shirt. She says, "Oh my God, I have your name all on my chest." I'm like, "Can you please say that again?" One of the greatest interviews of my career. And
you know
just
what's crazy? Behind backstage with Janet, it's not just her. Her dancers were off the chain.
Yeah.
They were, you know, man, backstage, the dancers, nothing was off limits, man. But they were hilarious. You talking about fun? Janet, you can't get next to her because everyone's around her protecting her.
Uh-huh.
If you get through that nonsense and that melee of people, when you get to Janet herself, she is the most docile, the most down to earth, the most nice, kindest person.
Okay.
She's just off the chain. She's a great person. But you can't get next to her because all the bodyguards that are protecting her.
Right.
But she's not nasty at all. People get mad if they can't get next to her. That's not her fault. That's the entourage around her that's built.
Oh yeah, they protecting. That's a paycheck.
Yeah, dude. But Janet is cool peeps, man, and she's real funny. Real funny, yo.
Yeah. And she cracks a joke, and you're not. You funny.
She gets you off guard. She gets you off guard.
Yeah. She did, but yeah. Thank you for the memory, Vito.
No, you're welcome, man.
Thank you.
I'm glad we got to share that together, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh boy. I should have been in DC that night.
Yeah. No, and the thing is, then I took a picture with her, and it's in the hotel room. So it's just me and her, and you see beds behind us. So you know what people like, yo, you was in the hotel room with Janet Jackson? You're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
How we started.
Yes.
Bragging credits.
You know, yeah. You know, I was in it. They don't know I was in there for an interview. I'll put it out there. Yeah, you know, I was in there to interview her. But you was in the hotel room with Janet? Yes, I was. Yes. That's it. You know, that's it. You know, let them think what they want to think. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
That's it. It's Janet Jackson, man. So,
and this is back when she was like super hot.
When she was Beyonce hot.
Yeah. She was hot.
Yeah, she was.
Lexi's on the what too, boy. Yeah. Miss Jackson.
This is what we do each and every Thursday night on Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. You never know what story's gonna pop up.
I know, right?
You check us out. And if you're on Facebook, do hit the like button. Comment section, feel free to comment. Matter of fact, special shout out to Raphael. He says, hello, everybody. Salute from El Capitan Raphael.
What's up, Raphael?
Yeah, man. We got the Miami Sports Network folks chiming in. Plenty of love with those guys.
Oh, man. I don't even have the chat open. I got to check that out. My bad.
Open up the chat, baby. Open up the chat.
I forgot about that.
Oh, Wanda Hayes in the house. What's up, Wanda
Hayes? Wow.
Wanda Hayes in the house.
Wanda.
Actually, Wanda was.
I need to get my membership to, was it WACA or was it Whammy?
No, Mama.
Mid-Atlantic Music Group Association. Yeah.
Mama.
Wanda. I need that.
We all need to go back to the Mama. And for folks, Mama stands for Mid-Atlantic Music Association.
Mm-hmm.
That's what most of us came out of. So
yep, all of us.
All of us came out of it.
Family, man.
We family.
The Mid-Atlantic Mob is what we used to call it before it was MAMA. It was the Mid-Atlantic Mob.
Man, I'm so glad that the elders in the business and made sure that we all see each other, because a lot of times the only time we see each other when funerals. Yeah. Now we get a chance to connect with each other, just to make sure we can say we love you, we miss you, and go over some of these times. So Wanda was on the show. She was one of our first guests back in.
Oh, really?
When we first started. Yes,
first season. Season.
Yep.
We got seasons, Vito. We got
seasons, baby. Wanda said she got you. She got you. She said, "Mama got you, baby."
Yeah. Wanda was there when I did my internship over at Polygram.
Okay.
Nice.
That's how I met Wanda. Got my start.
Now, speaking of Janet Jackson,
because
we got Beyonce, But but before Beyonce, it was Janet.
Yeah.
But before Janet was one of your artists on your label, Tina Turner.
Right.
So did you get a chance to work with Tina? Because I knew she was on Virgin at one time. Was she off of the Virgin at that point?
No, Tina's I can't really say yes or no, but Tina was European. She was European based.
Okay.
So we never got a chance to really work with her hands on. And she was always over in Switzerland or in Europe. She wasn't really in the States that often. And if she was in the States, she was so big of an artist, she really wasn't doing no label type stuff. You know, I'll be honest with you. I never got a chance to work with her personally. I would have loved to, because she's definitely an icon. She's a queen, and I love her music. But I never got a chance to actually meet her or work with her. But I would have loved that opportunity. I'd have been blessed with it.
Shout out to Toon Stone. He said he just saw Janet in concert. Matter of fact, she's touring right now.
She's touring Ludacris, right?
Yeah, Luda.
Yeah.
And Luda showing out in the show.
Oh, I heard he is.
Luda showing out.
I heard. He got a good platform for it.
Yeah. Luda is, I mean, he's entertaining as hell. The thugs like him.
Yeah.
The chicks like him. Everybody likes Luda.
And then he turned to a movie star.
Fast and Furious.
That's the Furious checks.
You know what I'm saying?
The Fast and Furious checks.
All day, brother. Jeez.
So you work with Janet. What are some of the memorable artists that you've worked with?
Oh, wow. When you were talking about 50 years of hip hop, I talked about
Wu-Tang, baby.
I remember when Shoestring, everyone in the industry knows her as Shanti Das. That's my girl.
Yo, she's about to get the Living Legends Award.
Yes, sir.
I just saw that.
Shanti Das, when she had really started out with LaFace Records, she had came to the Mid-Atlantic market, and she brought the group no one had heard about up here, which was Outkast.
That Outkast group? That little group?
It was Southern Playalistic. So she came up, and I remember we ran with them, and didn't nobody know them. Didn't want to listen to radio stations, none of that stuff, but we worked that record. So I worked with Outkast, the Goody Mob, Drew. When you talk about groups, I work with Craig Mack, Biggie when Biggie first came through.
1,000 Degrees.
Total.
Bad Boy. Did you get? How much time did you spend with Puff? Any time at all?
Yeah. My thing is that when I started with the Street Connections, doing the independent thing, I was in the Carolinas.
Right.
And I went from working for, at the time, it was MCA Records. That's how, Bo Samson, my man, Bo. Legendary MCA.
First season. First season.
I was in the Carolinas at MCA. And at that time when I got hired, like a year later, MCA and Universal kind of merged together.
Right.
During that merger, you had two reps. You had a Universal rep and you had an MCA rep. But I was a young rook. And I was going against a lady named Anthony Payne or Tony Payne, but she had been in the business for years. So she absorbed the position. So I went off, and because I had the experience working with P1 Radio, music directors, program directors, I turned around and I started Street Connections. And that was just all about breaking independent artists. Breaking in the street level, doing the street marketing. Guerrilla marketing is what it's
right.
Guerrilla marketing. And because I had relationships with program directors, now I was doing from the streets. So the independents saw me and said, oh, so you know the PD, the MD, promotions manager, and now you're dealing with the DJs, and you got the record stores, the retail accounts, because back then in the 90s, it was all about retail, the record stores.
Right.
We were in the record store. The record store. And so I went from there in a matter of 2 months, and this is no lie. I went from 0 accounts, and I picked up a total of 16 accounts.
Okay.
And just to kind of give you like the math about the business of it, I didn't realize the significance of it then. I was too young and I was having too much fun. But we were making the small accounts was doing $1,000 a month. So just do the math on the smallest account, $16,000 a month. I'm 21
early 20s.
I'm 21 years of age, bro. And I got a partner, my man Eric Tavares. He used to work for BMG doing the retail side. You remember back in the record store days, you would go into the store, you look on the wall, and you see the posters, and they had displays.
Yeah.
The young people don't know anything about that. They ain't never seen that.
They never been in a record store.
Never been in a record store. You know what I'm saying? And we used to have to go to the record stores and build the displays and everything else. So with Street Connections, what made us so unique and why I got so many accounts, I took care of the program directors, the DJs, did the street marketing, and my partner, he actually went into the retail accounts and did the retail legwork.
Right.
So when you hired us, you got the whole gamut covered. On top of the fact that you had your local record rep that was doing his 9 to 5.
Right.
So we were giving you 3 times the exposure. And man, I had too much fun. I was all out of control. I ain't gonna lie.
He admits it. He admits it.
I wasted money.
Yeah.
I did a lot of stupid stuff, but you learn from that stuff, man.
Oh yeah. It changes your life. It's interesting that you talked about something, and I forgot who talked about this. Might have been Bo. You talked about the merger of MCA and Universal.
Yeah.
And I think Bo was the one who was talking to us about that, Lorenzo.
Mhm.
That Puffy could have been signed to MCA, but Biggie had a song called "Dreams of an R&B," and it says probably go to jail. Patti LaBelle, Patti LaBelle was one of the biggest artists
at the time
on MCA, and I think it was the Japanese company was talking about doing the merger, and they didn't want hip hop, especially after Biggie said what he said on the record.
Right.
And they were like, nah, we're not gonna bring Puff on with Biggie because we don't like the content. But
I got you.
We saw what happened to Biggie after Clive Davis was like, "Hey, come on over here. we'll start Bad Boy under Arista." And remember the Big Mac, Craig Mack and
Biggie
in the Big Mac pack in the Big Mac cup. Yeah,
I had all that stuff, man. Like when I moved, I had all my stuff. I had to put it in storage.
Right.
And I went somewhere. I forgot where I went. I traveled somewhere, and just being irresponsible and just being young and being dumb. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, if you don't pay your bill,
storage wars.
No.
$30, $40, $50.
Dude, they sold my unit, and I had all my memorabilia. And I mean, when you used to walk into my place, it was like going into a recording studio because I worked with so many artists as an indie.
Right.
So I had plaques galore. I had all the gold plaques, the platinum plaques. I had everything. I had all that, and they sold all that stuff, man. So
wow,
we got the memories in here and in here, but I do miss physically being able to touch the stuff and look back at my career.
Vito,
so much stuff, bro.
Whenever I moved from Virginia to Florida up to here to Atlanta, I always grab my plaques.
Yeah,
I always grab. I got a boatload of plaques in there, so I was scared because I was like, man, if I lose these, it's over. Is and the thing about it is, we worked hard for this stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
I had that one on your wall. Color Me Back. I had a Color Me Back.
Hold on, did you get one of these?
Did I?
Oh,
did I?
Jenny.
Oh man.
Did I? Yeah, man. They took somebody bought all my stuff and probably went and took the emblem off and put their name on it.
He's like, "You been in the music business, Tony?" Yeah, sure have.
I had Tony Braxton plaques. I had all that stuff, man. I can't name all the artists I work with.
Right.
You did ask me a question. There was one artist that I work with, and I don't know if you guys remember or not. Y'all remember that group called Les Nubians?
Oh, Makeda.
Yeah.
That was one, and I gotta give a shout out to WHUR 96.3 FM. Hector Hannibal was the program director, and he took to that record, and he helped me break that record. He had that record in heavy rotation, and it ended up becoming the only non-English speaking record to hit heavy rotation in P1 market in the United States.
I remember that because I remember y'all used to work. Man, they playing it up in DC. All right, we'll take a listen. I mean, I remember playing Makeda, but right now, look, Lorenzo has a internet station called 100 Hip Hop and R&B, and the numbers are so huge on that. He actually out-cumes terrestrial radio stations like BLS.
Wow.
I just kicked off my my Neo Soul channel, and Les Nubian is one of my core artists.
Word.
Yeah. Because they got that fire. Special shout out to my man Heart Attack. I can't post your Heart Attack. My Facebook don't show up, but it came up on my phone. Shout out to Heart Attack.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yo,
What up,
check this
Tack?
out.
Wowie jocks for life, baby. Wowie jocks for life.
You know what I'm saying? Heart Attack.
Tack,
Yeah, I remember they Nubians came to town. They came to town for like 1 day or 2 days. They ended up staying a whole week. And
they performed here. They performed here in Atlanta about DC 3 months ago, and it sold out every night at the place. Y'all got a City Winery up in DC?
Yeah.
Sold out City Winery every night.
The old DC Love? Is that what it's Love? The winery is the
I don't
Love, right?
I know they have a City Winery up there. I just don't know what it used to be or what it wasn't. But I know
Love Club that was owned by Mark Barnes.
Oh yeah,
that's the City Winery.
Really?
Yeah, that's City Winery now.
What Mark Barnes doing now?
I don't know, man. He ain't gotta do nothing on money.
Count that money. Count all that money. Count all that money.
Him and Abdul and all them, they ain't gotta do nothing.
Count that money.
Count that moolah.
Oh, Shake Money said, "What's up, Lorenzo? Fins up.
What's up? What's up? That's right, Dolphins.
Yeah,
in the building.
Hey, if you're checking us out, feel free to drop us a comment. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button, please. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the notification button as well as subscribe. It helps out the channel. We do this each and every week. It's Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. Got my man Vito in the house tonight. We're talking about late Nubian and what he was doing with the. Were they Ethiopian or were they Nigerian?
French.
They're French. Okay.
Right. They're French.
Yeah. Okay.
And so my thing is that when they came to town, this is back when BET was doing a lot of
I was about to mention DC. They got a lot of love in DC during that time.
A lot of activity.
Yes.
So when they were in town, they reached out because of the airplay was getting from HUR. And next thing I know, they came in, we did the HUR interview, we did a couple other interviews, and then it just grew. And we started getting requests for performances. BET, we did Teen Summit, we did Rap City, believe it or not. They did Rap City. And then we did some meet and greets. And the end of all end, we ended up doing a private listening party at Blues Alley in Georgetown. And Hilda Williams came down and helped me host it with HUR. Okay. When she came down. And we ran the streets. I remember their manager, he's a real cool cat, had the flyest shoes. He had the real Italian leather shoes. I didn't know nothing about that back then. I loved his shoes so much. After he went back home, he sent me a pair of shoes, man. Some fly shoes. That was pretty cool.
Wow. Wanda Hayes says she missed the story. I know she got to watch it on the recording about story. That's okay, Wanda. You go ahead, hit us on rewind.
But yeah, when BET was like really popping in the DC market, a lot of people didn't realize. Most people think that you party on the weekends. In the music industry, we party during the week.
That's right.
True.
And the weekend was our time off, per se. But during the week, you didn't realize that on any given day, there was a superstar or a mega artist in DC because that's when Video Soul was popping. Right. It was always recording. It was Rap City. It was Teen Summit. And it was always private functions during the course of the week. Yep. So on the weekend, party goers go party in the club. But during the week, on a Tuesday night or Wednesday night, you would go to a private listening party, and it could be any artist. Right. And you wouldn't know about it if you didn't get the invite. It was like for the industry insiders. And we used to party Monday through Friday. The weekend, I was tired. I didn't want to go party because I've been partying all week. But that was our job.
It's like they're doing a listening party for blah 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 in DC. All right, hop in the car, let's go. Let's go.
And the thing is, that was our job.
Yeah,
that was our job.
Yeah. And there were so many clubs that were popping in DC at that time, man. I call it the biggest from 1995 to I would say 2004. Because around 2004, that's when the South really took over. Crunk music took over. But at that 95 to 2004 era in the DMV area, that was the best party era, hands down, period. I mean, I don't know if anything, that 10-year span right there, it was crazy.
Do you remember all the times me and you, Mr. Thomas, used to party at Republic Gardens?
Yes. Yeah. Every Friday night.
Every Friday night.
I was there every Friday. Man, like today when people say you don't miss going out, I'm like, no, I don't miss going out. I was in Republic Gardens every Friday night for about a 4 or 5 year span. Every Friday night. And then Dream opened up.
Yep. And then went to a whole nother level.
Yeah, that was a different type of vibe.
It was. The
Vito,
garden was fun because it was small. It was
intimate. Yeah. Did you attend the Gilbert Arenas party?
I don't remember. I'll be honest with you, man. It was so many things. That was at the Garden, wasn't it? Or Love?
No, that was. I think I'm not sure if it was Dream at the time or was still Love, but it was in two. I know I flew from Miami to go to the party.
I think it was Dream.
It may have still been called Dream at the time.
Right.
Yeah. Oh no, but it was like I think I can't quote the number. Someone could help me. I think he spent over $1 million, or it may have been 5 million, 10 million. I'm not sure exactly, but it was millions.
It was millions.
It was millions. I can't remember exactly how much, but they sent out invitations and it came in the mail. It was like a black card.
I remember that
black card.
I remember that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so, I was there. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh no, it was insane. It was like outside of Howard Homecoming weekends, where with Beyonce performing in the outside on the sidewalk, and Barnes would hook up a stage, and it would be outside, and the performances would be outside, and the club would be popping too, and I would be doing the live broadcast. Crazy.
Because I think he had just signed that big mega contract.
Remember
he had just signed that big contract, and then he had the big huge party and spent all that money.
Yeah. Oh, Gil, you talking about Gilbert? Yeah. Yeah. So that was just a throwaway from him.
Yeah, right.
It was right off, baby. It was right off. I'm about to throw the biggest party that the world has ever seen.
Yeah.
Good gracious. Vito.
What's up, man?
So, what's some of the biggest regrets you had about this business, man?
Not being prepared for it. Not being prepared for it. So
how do you prepare for stuff like this?
Well, because at the time, before we got on the podcast, you and I were talking. And you were saying it wasn't like really work; it was family and friends.
Yeah.
So for me, I never saw it as a real job. I was having too much fun,
and we still don't think it is. I still don't think it's a real job.
For
what I do.
I was too young to understand the magnitude of what I was involved in at that time.
Right.
And back then, at that industry, before the internet came on and the independence phase hit, going indie, it was all about signing with a big major label. Everybody had the name recognition. You wanted to work for the big six. It was the big six back then. It was like the 6 major record labels. So everybody wanted to be signed with a big label. So if you work for a big label, you got, like Lorenzo said, you had the logo stuff on your clothes. You had the badge, the jacket, maybe. It was like a form of celebrity almost. In a way.
I just thought about that because remember back in the day, like Death Row, everybody who was on Death Row shouted out Death Row. If you was bad boy, you was bad boy.
It was a form of celebrity to work for a big six or a big label. Everybody was trying to get at you before the internet because they didn't know how to get put on. The way you got to get put on, you had to know somebody. And then when the internet came on and caught on the way it did, it changed the whole way the game is played.
True.
The whole way the game was approached. So during our era, it was more prestigious. And when I say I wasn't prepared for it, I didn't realize my value. And I didn't realize the value of those around me and what they were doing. Because like I said, now people are getting Living Legends Award and the Hall of Fame, things of that nature. I mean, I work with artists that are now in the Hall of Fame. But being a young man, I didn't realize what I had in my fingertips then.
Right.
But looking back at it now, I wish I had done some things differently.
Right.
I wish I really went after a mentor to help kind of keep me grounded because I lost touch with some things. I made the mistake that most young people make. So any advice I would give people getting into business now is to stay humble, stay grounded, know your value. And it's called the music business for a reason. It's not just music, it's business.
Yeah.
You got to know your business. The business of music is different. And if you don't know it, you're just an entertainer and you're not getting paid properly. And why are you doing this? You're doing it for fame, you're doing it to make a living.
Yeah.
For livelihood. You gotta know your business, man.
Gotta know your business, man.
Gotta know your business.
You talking about, being in this business and not knowing what you got your hands on, and as we go back and look at the things that we've done, they're doing documentaries of people we sat down there, had dinner with, hung out with.
Yeah.
I spent time with Big, spent time with Pac and
with Biz.
Aaliyah,
Biz got a documentary coming out.
They got documentaries on people that we had, really cool relationships with because of because we were all young coming up in the business. The artists were young. We were young.
Yeah, we were young.
Yeah, right. We were young.
Like you said Biz, like Marky, he got a documentary coming out.
Yeah, it comes out on the 11th. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Biz,
crazy.
How many times have we party with Big? Biz Marquis, right?
You ain't know Monty, God rest his soul.
Oh yeah, of course, man.
I worked at Bismont with Biz and Monty, and it was Monty, Jenny Azumi, Sharice Coley, and myself. We worked for his booking company when Biz was like the big DJ doing all the shows all over the country. We were the one booking those tours. So I worked with Monty and Biz.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I didn't know what I was doing back then. And now you look at it today, they got a documentary on him, and here I am kicking it with him every day.
Yeah.
I didn't know,
And so it's the irony of it is that the trailer of the movie, the documentary, I should say, his wife Tara is going through some of his memorabilia. And when I lived in Laurel, Biz lived on the other avenue right down the block in Laurel. So it's like on a couple of occasions, I went to his house. Like as soon as you walked in that door in Laurel, I think he had a Kobe Bryant jersey right up on the wall. Right. And then you would walk in and I sat down with him and he started showing me some of that memorabilia that he had. And being from New York, he collected everything. So some of the big parties with the Cold Crush, and it is a certain style that was coordinated when it came to putting those party flyers together. Biz had all of those, and I'm sitting there and he's going through the photo albums showing me. I said, "Yo, Biz, you got all of this?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I just collect all this." So it just, when I saw the trailer, it just reminded me of the opportunity that I had to be in his crib, and he was showing me some of the stuff that he had, and I was able to share conversations with him because he didn't really know that I was from New York. So I had to tell him about, I grew up on 97th Street, Amsterdam, Columbus, right across the street from Rocksteady Park, the GOAT, where Earl the GOAT Manny GOAT was. And he's like, oh, snap. Yeah, right there between Amsterdam and Columbus. That's where I grew up. So he's like, oh, okay. All right. So, from that point on, but it could have been a situation where I took advantage of that relationship and been more involved with what he was doing. You know what I mean? You kind of take those relationships for granted. And you're like, hey, when I run into him, but at that time for me, I probably had the big head too. I'm like, I'm at V103. I'm the music director, program director. I'm on BET. You know what I'm saying? All that at one time, big head. Oh, they about to flip format. I ain't gonna look for a job. I'm good. I'm at BET. Bam. Soon as they flip format at V103, Damon Williams called me like, yo, you want to come work at KYS? Yeah. Bam. Next week I'm there. And it just, you get caught up in the hype. You get caught up in the hype. Yeah. You can get caught up in it. And it's like, I never wanted, and I probably said, and he has heard me say this before, I never wanted to come across as a groupie. Yeah. So some of those relationships that I could have nurtured and taken advantage of, I look back now and I'd be like, dang, I should have followed up on that. You know what I mean? And it would have been business. Huh?
I think that was all of us, though. None of us wanted to come off.
Yeah.
We were learning.
Yeah. But then you had so many friends in the business that were just friends and you were just hanging out. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's like, I look at the situation to whereas, this is when I dropped the ball. Well, I followed up, but when I'm interviewing Quincy Jones, right? I'm having a conversation with Quincy Jones, and Quincy Jones is in there. He's promoting Tamia at the time. Right. So Tamia is in there looking as good as she looks. Boom, we click. You know what I mean? We exchanging numbers and everything at the time. So, of course, this is before Grant Hill. But I'm talking to Quincy.
He's one of my owners, man. Leave him alone.
I'm talking to Quincy about my aspirations for acting back then, E. I'm having conversations with Quincy Jones. Say, yo, man, yeah, Quincy, I'm interested in acting. You know, I trained in high school and I did theater, but I want to do some movies. He's like, yo, I can play Will Smith's cousin.
I'm about to say, the Fresh Prince.
And back then, we looked at more like back then. Yeah, but Quincy turns to me. He's like, yo, nah, you can play his brother. So Quincy Jones gives me the number to Overbook Productions. So when I go out to, I'm serious. Quincy Jones, he gives me the number to Overbook Productions.
You should have called Lassiter, man. You didn't call him?
What I should have did was I should have got Quincy Jones's number. You see what I'm saying? That's taking the next step. Quincy, give me your number so when I'm in LA, I can call you. But when I went to Overbook Productions, their facilities weren't ready. They weren't up and running, but he knew it was coming. So I just dropped off my demo and I never followed up after that. You know what I mean? But
you ain't beam them on your two-way?
Nah, back then.
Two-ways?
Not back then.
The SkyTel
two-ways. Beamed them.
You know,
but give me your contact.
Yeah, but my regret is like, don't just get Quincy's number. So the next time I'm in LA at the Urban Network, I'm calling Quincy. What's going on? Oh, I'm having a party at my house and Benny Medina is here and Will Smith is here. So come on over. You know what I mean?
And that's how it happens.
Right. And that's how it happens. You know, so it's going that for those that are listening, go that extra mile and don't be afraid to ask for that number. All they can do is tell you no.
Yep.
That's it.
You're right.
You know? So
man, like I was talking about Bismarcky because of Monty, he introduced me to Jimmy Henchman. If you know
Jimmy.
Ooh.
He's in Miami now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This a whole never story. Jimmy at the time.
Jimmy.
Well, let me tell you, Jimmy had Czar Entertainment. He had this management company. And Jimmy had signed, he was managing The Game when The Game had just got put on with Eminem and 50 and everybody.
Yeah.
And then he had another artist called Gorilla Black. Y'all remember Gorilla Black?
Like Biggie.
Like Biggie.
Sound
just like Biggie, kind of looked like Biggie a little bit.
Yeah.
Jimmy needed a road manager to road manage Game and Gorilla Black. So Monty referred me to Jimmy and said, hey, I got a young cat. He used to work in radio. He know all the game. I think he'd be a good fit. So they flew me up to New York. Well, actually, I drove to New York. I met Jimmy Henchman. And then from there, Jimmy was trying to decide if he wanted to give me The Game as a road manager or give me Gorilla Black. But at the time, The Game had so much going on in the street with the LA situation that he actually put this other cat on that was more of a street dude. I ain't gonna lie to you, he was more of a street cat. And he was the road manager for The Game. And I got the Gorilla Black road manager position. And I went on the road for 3 months with Gorilla Black. And we went to like 35 tour stops. We went to Berlin, Germany, Zurich, Switzerland. We went to Amsterdam. We went to Paris. Dude, I went all over the place with Gorilla Black. And I got stories with that situation because Jimmy Henchman, good record label dude, but he had a whole nother side that cats don't know anything about.
No. If you in the business, you heard about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was time.
I was listening to people the other day with Jimmy Henchman stories. I was like, really?
Dude, it was times we flew into certain cities and we land and we got met at the airport and Jimmy had bodyguards with vests and firearms and was like, we got y'all the whole time while y'all are here. Because I didn't realize the internal beefs that were going on between The Game and Gorilla Black. They had their own internal beef, and it was real. It was serious, dude. I had no idea.
Gorilla Black is from LA too, right?
Yeah, he's from LA. And then
was he a Crip?
His brother.
His brother's a Crip.
Hot Dollar. His name was Hot Dollar. He was an artist too.
Okay.
But Gorilla Black was his younger brother, and he the one that got the deal. So. Yeah. You know, shout out to Gorilla Black and Hot Dollar and my man DJ Rob Wallace. Y'all should have him on the show. He's still doing tours with Tony Yayo and DJing in New York. He'd be a great cat for y'all to reach out to.
Had some conversations about it.
Yeah. Rob, he was on the road with us, but he was our DJ on that tour. And we were in LA. And Gorilla Black had this song out with Beanie Man that Mario Winans had produced. And I forgot the name of the song, but it was like Gorilla Black's biggest record at the time. Yeah. And I had never done like Hollywood talk shows. And we got booked on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And if you know anything about, on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And I didn't know, I can't compare this to any other story, but they said Jimmy Kimmel's green room was like the best green room, all green rooms in Hollywood.
Okay.
And when we got there, the green room is like a nightclub, bro. I had never experienced no shit like this. It's like a night. It had a full-fledged bar, open bar, pool table.
Did they have a pole in there?
They might have. If I can remember, they might have.
If it was in Atlanta, they would have had a pole in there.
Dude, we were there, and Jimmy Kimmel's green room was so hot at the time that you didn't have to be a featured presenter that night or on the show.
Right.
Hollywood stars would just stop in the green room just to hang out in the green room, dude.
It was like
just
that.
to hang out in the
Crazy.
green room and
That's
party.
crazy.
And we were there that night that he performed, and I never forget this. Robin Williams, the comedian, God rest his soul.
Oh,
Robin
Mark.
Williams was in the green room, and you talk about laughing to the point where your stomach hurt, where you can't breathe.
He was that funny.
Dude, Robin Williams is hilarious, man. We laughed. I think Bobby Brown stopped by while we were there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious, man. I got some
Hang out in Kimmel's green room.
Dude, his green room is legendary. Ask anybody in Hollywood about Jimmy Kimmel and his green room. And the stories that go in the green room are amazing. It's more fun backstage than it is out in the audience in the green room.
But that's why he's able to get the artists that he's able to get on his show. Wow.
And this was back in the early 2000s.
Okay.
So it's different now. I can't tell you what it's like now, but back then it was legendary, y'all.
Ah.
And
So,
then
so that's when you're running with Gorilla Black.
and then the Game had to do a show. And Jimmy Kimmel had put the stage up in the back parking lot. You remember this? He would have the live concert in the back parking lot behind the stage. I think the Game was doing something. And I didn't witness this, but I know what happened for a fact. The game was supposed to be like, the Blood Crip situation. I don't know the whole story. It was like 50 to 75 Crips or Bloods came backstage in the back parking lot. And Jimmy Henchman was with the Game. He went outside by himself to go talk to the people, to the gang members, whatever. I don't know what he said to them. Within a matter of 5 or 10 minute conversation, all of them turned and walked away and left.
Jimmy Henchman.
Small dude, nice cat, Haitian motherfucker. But I don't know his bad side, but a lot of people did not mess with him. He was a no joke cat.
There's a couple of cats in the business.
No joke cat, dude.
Yeah, Jay Prince down in Houston. You don't want to mess with that. You don't want none of that smoke. You don't want none of that Jimmy Henchman smoke. There's some folks you don't want no smoke from.
You don't, man.
In the business.
Hey, Vito, you don't have to go into it, but I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the game situation in Washington, D.C. at WKYS.
Oh, that's right. Zulu.
What happened? I don't remember. I might have been on tour with Black out of it.
That's all right. Okay. Well, we won't
talk about it.
I'm sorry. I missed that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a heavy one. That was a heavy one.
Yeah,
so,
we'll talk about that one offline.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want nobody coming after me.
Yeah, like I'm too old. I don't want none of that smoke.
You notice I preface it if you don't want to talk about it, but do you remember that one? Yeah, but it was it was a serious.
Caught it all on camera.
Yeah,
it's all on. It's on camera.
It was on camera,
dude. Those clicks.
Who? So they recorded it in the studio.
No. You know they had cameras.
Okay. Yeah, regular security cameras, right?
Oh, when someone was pulled out into the hallway. Oh man. Oh my goodness.
Those cats, man, they travel.
That's right. I do remember people telling me that was on camera. That's right.
It's on camera. Yeah, those cats, they travel. They carry their associates with them, just for stuff like that. It's crazy, man. I learned a serious hard lesson being on the road touring with Gorilla Black and dealing with Jimmy Henchman. I mean, Monty, like I said, he set me up on that one. Then after he set me up, he called me and he was like, "Yo, I heard what happened out such and such. Hey man, watch your back, man. My bad. I didn't mean to get you involved in all this shit."
After the fact.
Yeah, it's funny.
He didn't know it was like that. It was gonna be like that on the road. He figured the music was the music, but his side stuff was his side stuff. But those worlds, they crossed over on us on the road.
But you know what? What's interesting about the industry is that that's the part of the industry that still hadn't grown up from. Because you still got hip hop artists getting killed every year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
You still got cats running with entourages that get shot in crossfires and things of that nature.
Yeah.
One of the funny stories, Arlinda did the show first season.
Arlinda Garrett?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about when she was working with Luke Records. She said, we had to keep the car in the front of the club running the whole time. I said, why you got the car running all the time? He says, because we knew we got to take these damn stilettos off and run back to the car because we know Luke was going to get in a fight out in there. I was like, huh? She said, yeah, we had to always keep the car running in front of the club because we know it's going down. Wow. And I was cracking. She said, man, you see, we got stilettos in our hand. We running to the car.
I can see y'all Linda doing that too. Linda's crazy.
Yeah.
She was good people. She is good. She's still around. I haven't talked to Linda in years.
Yeah.
Actually, Arlinda's down in Panama, living her best life. Living her best life. Yeah. She did the show from Panama. Man, we worldwide with this thing, brother.
I see, bro. It took me too long to get on here, but this has been off the hook, man. I love this.
Man, I wanted to. Hey, look, Cootie Mac said he coming on the show.
Got to get Cootie. I spoke to Cootie about that too.
Cootie said he coming on the show. We got my girl Monique. We got to get her on the show. Monique.
Oh my goodness.
Because she went to school with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was hanging out with Marlo this weekend.
I saw the picture.
Yeah,
I saw the picture. Yeah.
We were hanging out. They got a house party that they come. Literally, it's a house party playing house for 2 days straight. I was telling her about Thomas and all he does. So the house is a mini mansion. Right. And the guy does this party every year, and people from Chicago and Detroit came. She was like, meet us at the house. I was like, okay, what's going on? He said, it's a pool party. I was like, okay, I'm on the way. Hanging out with our folks. And Marlo's going to be on the show. She'll be on the show too.
Hey, Lorenzo,
yeah.
Going back, when you were talking about, you said the South and the hip hop,
I
remember a long time ago, PGC 95.5 in DC. TBT Records. I took a record up there, and the time, shout out to I haven't talked to her in a long time. Thea, is it Thea Mitchell?
Yep.
I think she was the music director at the time of PGC, and I took a record up there that was blowing up down south, but it couldn't get no love up north. And I said, this is artist named Little John and the East Side Boys, East Side Boys, because they were on TBT Records. They were a small label,
right?
And I took the record in to Thea PGC. And, back in the Music Day meetings, you put the record on and you play it down. If the record didn't have a story, you had to sell a story to get the music record. And I put the record on. And it didn't even make it to the hook. And Thea looked at me and she was like, what the hell is this shit?
Crunk music, baby. Crunk music.
Crunk music.
And then she was like, Vito, I love you to death, man. She said, but we'll never play nothing like this. She was like, they do a better job hiring you as A&R. And I bet you this day, she might remember this, she might not remember this, but she kicked me out with the Lil Jon, the East Side Boys record before it hit. And I haven't talked to her since, bro.
Wow.
I haven't talked to Thea since. I got no love against her. She was just doing her job. But nobody knew it was going to become what it became.
Right. You had to have an ear for it.
Yeah.
And I'm in Miami. I'm on 99 Jams at that time. And was I DJ? Was Cali? Yeah, I was on. Yeah, here comes that story. So when I first got to Jams, it was like, I remember the Source Awards was held down there.
Yeah.
And everything. This was when like crunk music and Little John had the crunk juice and it was like a red and black can. And of course, 99
you want me to go get it?
Yeah, go get it. Go get it. I want to see it. And show it to everybody. So we at 9, I'm in the South.
Yeah.
So we embraced it.
Yeah.
And I'm on doing 2 to 6 in the afternoons. And the DJ that just happens to be on with me doing the drive at 5 or 99 Jams at the time was probably someone. I don't think anyone would recognize this name. No, I'm not even gonna say who the DJ was at the particular time, but he was banging these particular South records.
Okay.
Like, I mean, and it just took over, but it had to reverberate in the South, in Atlanta, and then after that, it just took over. And the DJ I'm referring to that was DJing on my show, who we were on the air together with, just happened to be DJ Catlett.
Wow.
So yes, so he was. I mean, and I will say this to anyone about Catlett: all the success that you see coming to him today is deserved because he knew what he wanted. He put his mind to it. He worked hard at it, and he continues to work hard at it. And it took him blowing up. What was the name of that social media app that it was? Because we knew, about Catlett down here, but what was it? Was it Snapchat? It was Snapchat. After he got on Snapchat, he did something on Snapchat, just blew up. Next thing we know, ABC News is interviewing him. I'm like, yo, ABC News? What? Then after that, the rest is history. But he was still making records at that time, know. Yeah. But it had a lot to do with Miami, the DJ Irie, DJ Khaled, let's see who else was on our station, Nasty, Entice, so many of those DJs at that time were just hitting those songs down here in the South, and it just blew up. And ever since 2004, the South hasn't let go.
They haven't. They got
a stranglehold on it.
A stranglehold. Matter of fact, you said DJ Ivy. Wasn't he the Miami Heat's DJ for a long time?
Yeah. And I when I first got here, Irie was DJing at the Miami Arena, and this is before Shaq came. Right? Yep. So I remember going in there, and the Miami. This is before Shaq, so the Heat were not good at this time. So it's 2003. D Wade just it's his first year, the rookie year.
Yeah.
So I remember going into that arena, and I'm like, and Irie is like, everybody make some noise, and you hear you hear the echo of his voice throughout the arena. And mind you, he's DJing on the station with me, and I'm like, man, Irie, I remember having a conversation. I said, how much longer are you going to do this, man? It was like he was popping more on South Beach and doing those clubs than doing that. And he said, man, I'm just going to hang in there, Lo. I said, well, keep hanging in there. But it was like, with nobody in there.
Nobody there.
It was like, and then D Wade, helped the team out 2004, 2005. I think that's when Shaq came. Then after that, I mean, the Heat have been on a run where they've been to the finals 7 times in 17 years, more than any other organization in the NBA.
Okay.
From that point on. But then, now Irie's doing his thing. So many, great talents have come out of that station, WEDR 99 Jams. And like right now we have Super Cindy. She's on Love and Hip Hop. You had Big Mac, who's on Wildin' Out. DJ Nasty just performed at the BET Awards with Luke. So it's just so many different. K Fox, who's been working a little bit of everywhere up in New York. Now she's back. So, the station has done a lot to influence the South and the music. And now the station is back to where it used to be as far as ratings are concerned. So it's doing well, man. It's doing well.
I remember because when Lil Jon put out the Be a Be a record, I think they were credited. I called it, that's when hooks on songs before the South really took over, hooks had more melodies to them. And then when the South came with crunk music, it became more of chants. They would chant the hooks. And the Be a Be was like, to me, it's like, I think they're the ones that really kind of catalyst to chants and hooks. And most of your hooks now in the Southern music, they're more chants than they are melodies.
Yeah, but you know what I think really helped? No. He was popping before that. He He had hit records, What? It's all of the sound effects, all of those things that made him. You got the drink? You found it?
I couldn't find, man. I was looking. And then when I got there,
yeah.
The Amazon guy came in.
I had the drops ready for you. I was like, let me see it. I was gonna go, what? And then I was gonna hit you with the and then I hit you with the okay. And then when Dave Chappelle did the skit, it just took him to another level. That, I mean, it blew up after that. I believe that was probably 2004, 2005.
Yeah. I remember that, man.
Yeah, I'm living on, oh my God, I'm living my best life, living at the Flamingo, which was like a college, the Flamingo on South Beach.
Yeah, I know. What are you talking about?
Okay, man. I was living in the Central Tower, living my best life.
Oh, you sure was.
I was on vacation. I would walk from my apartment to Ocean Drive.
Yep.
It was just like, yeah. I was down there for about 3 years, and I was on vacation for about 3 years. said Vito, said Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to him today, and we were talking about that. I said, yeah, man, I remember when I moved down here, I was living on South Beach, and he said to me, like, you living on South Beach? I said, yeah, man. He said, okay, yeah, go ahead and live on down there. Get it out your system. Before you know it, you're going to move up north. And I looked at him like, really? He said, yeah, get out as soon as get it out, and you'll be up north. Guess where I live? Up north and out west. I am far from the beach. 45 minutes.
What you got there, E?
What's that, E?
Lorenzo know what this is.
Uh-oh.
It's just, oh! Okay. Is that the trophy?
That's one of them.
Oh, man. So who gets me?
This is Chaz's.
Yeah. So, because that's how fantasy
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, and that's how. No, you showed it. That's our Dynasty Fantasy Football League trophy.
Oh, he's the champ. He's the champ.
No. I'm the commissioner.
Yeah, he's Eric is the commissioner, and so I'm just trying to figure out when we're gonna have this, this draft.
I'm gonna talk about that a little later on the day.
Let's have it after the fourth. No, it's only 3. Let's have it after the third preseason game.
Right.
Because everybody been hurt right now.
Yeah. Well, at least we'll get a chance to see. I got the Hall of Fame game on right now. The Jets are up 13-0.
Jets and the Browns?
Yeah, Jets and Browns. But
I'll watch it on replay.
Yeah, Rodgers nor Watson are playing.
Me too.
Now, I mean, this has been fun. But
I'm not looking at any of the comments.
Let me see. No. They go on. She said, "This is a real thing for y'all." Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Fantasy football is real for us. Yeah. It's serious. It's you can get cussed out, Wanda. You could be. Oh yeah, we don't look. That was the Amazon guy. I knew what was coming. I said, has been waiting for this damn trophy for a minute now.
Man, this has been fun. We're talking about memory lane. I didn't get a chance to even talk about, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is. Okay.
Jeez.
That's nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, we be in business together.
Yeah.
5 links. That was down in Miami.
That was in Miami. Yep.
That was
5
Miami.
links in Miami.
5 links in Miami.
Is anybody still in it?
Hey man, the white party, baby. Remember the white party?
Hey,
what we did?
This is at Nikki Beach. Remember?
On Nikki Beach. This was on Nikki Beach.
Nikki Beach, Miami. Yeah.
We were balling.
Oscar, my man.
And I was actually talking about this gentleman a couple of days ago. He's still a man.
George Daniels.
George Daniels did that thing too.
Yo, George,
legendary retailer.
George got a liquor store there because I was asking Marlo. I said, "What's going on?" Because she in Chicago. I said, "What's going on with George now?"
Yeah.
He owned a liquor store. I was like,
"All right, yeah, that sounds right about." That sounds about right.
George Daniels.
I mean, if George was going to do anything, going from owning a record shops to a liquor store, yes,
that's it.
That is George Daniels.
He was a fun dude, man. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
he was a lot of fun.
I could see him running commercials about his liquor store on TV.
Records to liquor, baby. Records to liquor. Yep.
Liquor store.
You got a liquor store.
Get a CD and a pint.
Yeah, you got a liquor store. So, but you got a chance to work with the God.
You did. Yes, I did.
Rakim.
Yeah, yes, I did. Rakim.
Still one of the best lyricists that ever put the microphone up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back. It's just so many that I've been blessed with to have the fortune to work with and to touch. And I'm trying to think and remember everyone I work with, but the magnitude, most people work for like 1 or 2 record labels.
Mm-hmm.
By me working independent and working for several labels, the experiences I've gathered and I look back are so memorable. It's crazy, man. It's ridiculous. There's people I forgot that I've worked with, and I may see something that will make me remember it, and I'm like, oh snap! And I got a story. I got so many stories that I want to keep talking to y'all, even off the goddamn podcast. It's just so much we got to catch up on and talk about. It's ridiculous, man. It is ridiculous.
So you've transitioned from the music industry because some of us, look, Lorenzo and I, we still stuck here. You got free.
Yeah.
You got free. You free. Give us free. Give us free. So you've transitioned into tell everybody what you do now.
Well, when I left the industry, I did a little bit of this and that for quite a while. But in 2019, I started as a general contractor. I'm a licensed contractor now. So I'm in the construction industry, ladies and gentlemen. My thing is that I went from music to building homes now. So all my friends and family and those I don't know, associates, I'm a licensed contractor in DC, Maryland, Virginia. So if you need some services done, some residential work, anything built, reach out to me, man. I would love to connect and do some business without question. And I'm also going into the commercial realm. I'm doing a lot of commercial projects, and I'm now setting up my business in my company, which is called Pro Construct Inc. We're actually becoming certified with the federal government to do government contracts.
Wow.
So they have a program called the 8A program that I'm in the process of getting into. It's like a 2-year process. I'm in my 2nd year. So at the end of this year, I should become 8A certified, which would be a game changer. If you don't know anything about 8A, it's a game changer. It's where the federal government takes small businesses and helps them build to medium to large scale business. And when I say small scale, if you do less than 7 million a year, you're considered small scale.
I've got friends trying to, from a media standpoint,
do
business with the government. They're trying to get their certifications too.
Yeah, so you get your
somebody looking for a roof, Playboy.
I got you, Wanda. I'm actually doing. I was telling E earlier before the podcast. I'm doing a high school roof in Waldorf, Maryland. So I'm doing a lot of commercial stuff, but I need to get my government contracts, get my certification. And once I get that, it's a game changer, man. Because now I don't got to compete against the big corporations, because small companies can't compete against the big companies. They don't have the budgets, they don't have the manpower. But the federal government with 8A, they set aside like 30% of their federal contracts just for small businesses. And I'm talking contracts that are like 6, 7, and some are even 8-figure contracts that only a small business can bid on. They take them away from the big companies, and you're in it for 8 years. And when you go into 8A, it's an 8-year run. And at the end of 8 years, you're supposed to come out a multi-million-dollar business, because they give you certain platforms to compete and do these large-scale jobs. So that's what I'm working towards now.
Wanda, I'll make sure he gets. She said, "Give him the number."
I know the roof. I got it.
You got it. Matter of fact, Heart Attack says same here. So evidently, he's looking for his certification too. No, serious, because I know one of my friends. I mean, she's been 2 years working on it. Once she gets that, she can get the RFPs from the government to do national marketing buys. Game changer. She's like, Eric, my whole world's going to be changed.
It's a whole game changer.
Just take me along with you. Just take me.
It's a game changer. It's hard to get into it. A lot of times, it's best to hire what they call application companies that professionally do your application process.
She got one doing it.
Because if you make one mistake on your application, it's denied.
Yeah.
Then you got to go back in the waiting list. So it pays to pay the right people, get your one shot, certification, and man, life changes. Life changes, man.
And it's your money. It's tax money. It's taxpayer money. It's your. All you're doing is getting your money back.
I'm trying. The pandemic hurt a lot of people. I'm trying to maintain and survive. I'm lucky I kept my office. That's all I can say.
Hey man, we all working on our transition.
Man.
You know, I get a chance to grace the screen from time to time on television. So
right.
Y'all ask a question. Can I ask y'all a question?
Talk to me, Colin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me ask y'all a question this time. back when we were in it, the way we were in it, you guys are still in it. But back when I was in it with you guys,
right.
the game was totally different.
True.
So from the era that we were in, the late 90s, 2000s, to where the game is transitioned to now, how do you guys like the industry now in its present state? I'm just curious.
You go, E, first.
Well, I think it sucks. I mean, when I say sucked, I mean it's the music isn't as good.
Yeah.
The content isn't good. I was listening to, when you go back and listen to storytellers, especially for hip hop, these guys told stories in their music. Stuff that they do now ain't a whole lot of stories. When we're talking R&B, you got a couple of cats out there that do okay, but will you be able to throw on the best of Miguel 20 years from now and still get the same effect when you throw on the best of the Stylistics or the best of Donny Hathaway or the best of Stevie Wonder or the best of Luther Vandross?
Right.
Are there artists putting out that type of music that's going to be timeless and will stand the test of time? I can give you artists all day long. Rick James.
Right.
Music still rock to this day.
Stuff you can still rock to today. I mean, the time. Prince. Who's that artist out there now, or these young artists that's going to stand the test of time? Now, a young lady out of DC, I think she could stand the test of time, but she's got to change up the content. I love Ari Lennox, but all of her songs talk about pretty much the same thing. I think she's a hell of a talent.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to grow past, sex, just sex. What else can you talk about in the music? Because we watch Marvin go from pop Marvin to socially conscious Marvin,
yep,
to sexual chocolate Marvin.
Right.
So, the thing about it is we saw growth in the artists from the past. I mean, and in terms of hip hop, will there be another storyteller like a Slick Rick or Nas?
Yeah.
I mean, because of the mumble rap, and Quiet as Kept, Kanye, first 2 or 3 albums, great storyteller.
Was.
Yeah.
Great
he just don't do it like he used to. But
He just don't do it. He's still in him, but he
Right.
just don't do it. So when we're talking about the state of the music, will it last 10 years down the line? And you'll be like, okay, all right, I'm in it. So it's just not like it used to be. So one of the reasons why I put together the Soul Lounge Cafe, it's neo soul with a touch of hip hop. So I'm playing the Les Nubians and Hill Street Soul and the Alicia Keys and the Janae Akio. I'll do some LMA. I'll play Daniel Caesar. I'll play that London kid.
The
October London.
Marvin Gaye? The little
October
Marvin Gaye
London.
dude?
Yeah, October London. People don't know about him. That dude is like that.
Yeah.
That dude, now,
Like that.
hopefully they don't mess that man's career up, but that boy is, if there was something that can he stand the test of time? I don't know, because it's hard to follow in the footsteps of a icon.
Like Marvin Gaye. He sounds just like
You
Marvin
sound
Gaye.
like him.
Right.
He has his own sound, but his vocal distinct. There was a acapella version of Marvin Gaye singing a song, and his vocals, when he sings with melody, like harmony in his vocals. So his voice sounds like a musical instrument, and that's how the London kid is the same exact way.
Yeah.
He don't need music. His voice is the music.
Yeah. And he has, he took a little bit of Teddy Pendergrass, come on over to my place, and now I'm going over to your place, and and combined it. But it's like, as soon as you heard it, the music touched your soul.
Yeah. So you were getting
Felt
something.
it. Yeah. And there.
But hold on, did it touch our soul because we know what Marvin was? Did it touch the 18 to 24-year-old? Did they feel what we felt when we heard it? I don't know. Look, I know we know each other. When we heard it, I can automatically assume how you felt, Lorenzo.
Right.
I can automatically assume how you felt, Vito, when you heard him.
Yeah.
But if you didn't grow up on Marvin,
how did it affect you?
How does it affect these young cats that, they grew up on Neo?
Yeah.
Marvin.
If you grew up.
We grew up on Marvin.
I know, but if you grew up on that neo soul era, that late 90s, early 2000s era, if you grew up around there, you can identify with it because the Erykah Badu's, the Jill Scotts, the Eric Benets, the Music Soul Child, all of those artists. When that neo soul hit, we felt it and it took off. And Maxwell.
Yeah.
So if you grew up on that, you can still connect, I believe, to October London. Yeah. Now, if you grew up in 2010 and you were 10 years old and now you're 23, I don't know what you gravitate.
But you know what? I said 18. I said 18 to 14.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. And and I think, Vito, that goes to answer your question. Whereas, where are those artists that can communicate with this generation that is between the ages of 18 to 24, especially right now? What's his name? Gambino.
Oh, you talking about
Gambino? Yeah, exactly. And Kendrick Lamar. We need more artists with that content, especially with what we're going through right now in our country.
But who's gonna play it? Because if it ain't gang, gang, pop, pop.
I mean, you got to force them to play it. Yeah. Because I think if radio stations start to see that, because they look for talent that's popping on IG and social media. So if you got X amount of followers, or they think you're gonna it's gonna equate to ratings, which is not true. But if they see that this song is popping on IG or Spotify or some of those outlets, they will take a look at it and start gravitating to it if they see that. So it has to grow those legs, and you've got to get, of course, you got to have a following behind it to push it. But I don't think there's enough of that music out right now, So it's like, I don't remember the name of the group, but the group that had the video to the song, black on black, 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 black. That joint was dope. You know what I'm saying? And I hear one of the hosts on Sirius XM, they use that as a bumper coming out of the commercial. Black, black. You know what I'm saying? I've used it on the air and just played that part. But what they're talking about, on that song, the content is what they need to absorb today, And my daughter is 9. She's 9, and she's approached me the other day and was like, Daddy, how come every time I read a story about Black people, they lost their job, or they lost their home, or they, something negative.
Yeah.
She said that to me this past week in reference to the literature that she's reading. Why is it always a negative? Because that's what they're trying to instill.
Yeah,
children,
You're absolutely right.
So then she picked up Michelle Obama's book and started reading that. No joke. No joke.
There you go.
She picked it up and started reading it and got her highlighter. You come across the word you don't know, write it down. I'll help you out.
So when you were talking about people or music that cats, ain't getting on the air, like the IG guy. This kid right here, I got to find out the full album. Let me play this real quick.
Self-inflicted wound from a weapon that we're supplying. The past seeds of hatred that race in our bloodstream. We can't agree to disagree on the most basic of things. What's a man? What's a woman? What's the shape of the earth? When does human life began? At conception or during birth? Meanwhile, the projects is more violent, and the Democratic Party stays silent. That's poverty pimping. That's when politics are poverty driven, and they pander to poor communities to get moral impunity. Capitalism is a black man's hell, but Marxism comes from Europe as well. It's not African. So pick a side to collect from. We run away from one slave master into the arms of the next one. And every truth
Dropping knowledge.
they put fear, and we auction off our vote in exchange for some false hope. Listen, it's that blatant, enslave us through taxation. Send money to Ukraine and you paying at the gas station. Cause this administration had plans for the inflation. Natural gas is the actual task. Check the pipeline. Now they want to fight. America is slowly dying.
So when
wait. Where's the hook?
there is no hook.
That's the problem. That is the problem, because today's rappers, mumble rappers, it doesn't matter what they're saying. They're coming up with the catchy hooks. So you got to create the catchy hook first before you can start educating them. That's the problem. There's no hook. Now, they don't want to hear all that. But if you give them a nice little hook, then they'll listen to the rest of the stuff. But the hook, and you got to credit, and I will give them this, because what chased me out of the club was when all the production started to sound the same. You know, that 808 drove me crazy. That doom, 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 doom. I was like, yo, I can't, if I hear another song with that roll, I'm going to lose it.
They're going to call you an old man.
No. It's because all of the songs were sounding the same.
Sound the same.
I mean, but we grew up with an era where you had different producers.
Yep.
So that's the difference. You know, right now they find a formula that's selling. Everybody gonna do the same thing over and over and over again, over and over again. Oh, man. Oh, hold on.
You had Guru. You had Clark Kent.
Man.
You had
the Bomb Squad.
I forgot that. I worked with Gangstar. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Premier. Premier on the beat, baby.
I remember I had to chase Guru ass down Washington Boulevard in Miami.
Right. And no one wanted to sound the same.
Right.
You know, but then it has a lot to do with the record companies too. So they find a formula that's working, they keep doing it over and over and over again until it wears out, you know. I know producers, you can hear it to say, wait a minute, that's the same track that was on Drake's song. Oh, and that's the same track that was on Mary's song. Yeah, and Buster's got the same track. And the only things that are different is some chords are changed here and there. But you got to credit the artists because they disguise it because the hooks are different and they're catchy and you can sing along with them, even though the drum patterns may be the same. You know what I mean? But so that's what you got to credit those artists, and even those mumble artists are coming up with those hooks that are catchy. So the conscious rappers have to do the same thing.
They do.
You know,
it's crazy you said that, Lorenzo, because there's a video out now on the internet about Drake, and it's comparing a lot of Drake's hits to previous hits that he just kind of like just copied over. Have y'all seen that yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen it.
I'll send it to you. I got the link. It's crazy.
It's if the more repetitious, like you said, the hook.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll start singing it. So.
Yeah.
But the music has changed so much from when I was in it that I just kind of outgrew the music. And by outgrowing the music, I kind of outgrew the business a little bit because it's kind of hard to go promote something that you really just can't resonate with.
Right.
You really can't. So, you know, it was a natural progression per se. And we were in it. It was fun time.
It was our time. That was our time, baby. It was our
time, dude. But the internet changed the whole way the music industry evolved and how it is today. So, but I'm glad that my experience in it was during that era.
Yeah.
Because I got lifetime memories. I got lifetime friendships, relationships. And it's just so much, man. This has been, fellas, I appreciate this, dude. I appreciate this, man. I haven't talked about music in years.
Man.
Fun, man.
So when did you leave the business, Vito?
I left the business when I left Virgin Records. This was like in right around close to around 2000. And then after that, it was all like independent. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was a short run.
But it was a fun run.
Nah. It was. How many years did you do, Vito?
I did like 10. No, I did about 15 years. So I came out.
Okay. All right. I was about to say.
Yeah, about a 15-year run.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
And you ended in 2000?
No, it was like around 2005.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I was bugging here. I was like, yo, man, I know we were hanging like in 2002, 2000. I mean, it's like, yo, Vito. It was like everybody knew your name. That he was that dude when it came to the record reps in the Mid-Atlantic region.
Like
You know, it had to be, you had to get with Vito.
I just didn't know what I had, man. I didn't know my value. I just undervalued it, and I was having too much goddamn fun.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
We all were Vito. We all were.
Is that what it was?
I mean,
I was just having too much fun, dude. I mean, but
yeah.
wow.
I think I was on here with Greg Diggs, and he's been on the show.
Yeah.
That was season 1 or season 2, E?
He was the end of season 1.
Season one. So I don't know if you know Vito. Greg Diggs hired me over at BET.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, okay. So when I was there, I look back at it now, and I think it wasn't with Greg. No, it was with the BET. We had like a BET reunion, and I sit back and I think about that time and the opportunity, and also Sam Walker was very helpful for me and to be able to achieve the things that I did at BET if it wasn't for Greg and Sam Walker.
Yeah.
But even in there, I kind of took those things for granted.
That's me now, bro. I love my head.
So what you shooting, baby? What you shooting?
What you shooting? Handicap on live stream, man. What's wrong with you?
What you shooting, baby? What you shooting now? What you shooting now?
I'm shooting mid-90s.
Okay.
Mid-90s. I'm trying to break 80. I got a long way to go.
Well, I'm a 50 handicap, so
But Lorenzo, I hear you about Sam Walker and Greg, because I remember when Greg left KYS, he went over to BET, right?
Right. He went over to BET. He became the music director over there at BET.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But it was a situation to whereas, well, Greg left on his own.
Yeah.
So then after that happened, new people came in, and then they basically moved the programming from Washington, D.C. to New York. Yeah. And when that happened, that was end of a lot of the things that were happening and popping, because all the artists would come through D.C. because of BET. And then after that, it went up to New York. And that's kind of like, I think that was 2000, 2001.
Yeah,
when it was changing. Yeah. So,
yeah.
So that changed a lot of the dynamic in Washington, D.C. But yet and still, the club scene was just so crazy. And I mean, I tell every show I get on, I'm like, I don't think y'all understand how crazy it was when people were renting buses to charter buses from New York City
to come down the club,
to come down to Dream.
Come down the club.
Yeah. You'd walk out of the club and you'd see the bus that would say Philly. And people would be getting on the bus 3-4 o'clock in the morning. People are getting on the bus to ride back to Philly. I mean, just think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Chartered buses.
Yep.
People would take to come party at Dream.
Yeah. And what's crazy that people don't realize the magnitude of what BET had on DC in the entertainment. That's why the clubs were popping so much, because on any given time there was always some type of celebrity or star in DC.
Then they moved to New York
because of BET.
Yep.
They had no idea. BET changed the entertainment industry big time for DC.
Right.
And we were there.
Yeah.
All of us were there.
Yeah.
I still talk to Sam Walker on Facebook and Greg. Greg be posting some real nice old school pictures all the time. I love Greg's Facebook profile.
I be looking at Greg. I'm like, how old are you, man? You know everybody. You got the pork chop, boy. You got the pictures of the pork chops. I said, okay, now you looking like you one of the Isley brothers, brother. Yeah, Greg was a great guest, and he's always checking us out. So I appreciate that.
Yeah,
thanks for coming on. Matter of fact, I hung out with Shantae Moore's husband the other day. I'm trying to get, what's his name?
Stephen Hill.
Stephen. Yeah. Stephen. I was like, I told him, I said, look, man, we had BET on. I mean, you started that MTV thing. I mean, what's up? You coming on? What's up?
Oh, you trying to get him on the show?
Trying to get him on the show. Yeah.
What did he say?
You can get him.
I'll see him. I'm gonna probably see him next weekend.
Okay.
Because they got the jazz festival. I told Shantae that I'd catch him up in Richmond. Yeah. She's like, she didn't even know she had a show. I was like, you got a show in Richmond. She was like, oh, I guess I'll see you then. man.
Yeah, she been around for a minute too.
Yeah, I was low key stalking her back in the day.
Say that again, E. I think they missed that. Say that again, E.
I say Sade and her. I was low key stalking back in the day. Sade, boy. Every time I think she performed in Norfolk, Hampton, and DC, and I made every show when she came to town. Let's see, that was epic record time. I was probably beating up Linda Penn for some tickets.
Linda Penn.
Hey, Linda, I want tickets.
Wow. You're taking it way back, dude.
Oh yeah. We gotta get Linda on the show too.
Yeah, we definitely do. We got to get Linda on. That's for sure.
Man, that's what's up, dude.
Well, bro, we glad you got a chance to stop by and talk to us, man. I appreciate you taking out the time.
Yes, sir.
You know,
I appreciate the invite, man. I really do.
Man.
I really do. This has been cool, dude.
It's always funny because cats will see the show and it's like, man, y'all up there having way too much fun. I said, man, the people that we put on the show, we actually know, so we can have a real conversation with them about stuff that went down, the stuff we can't talk about.
Dude, parties and all kinds. I got so much stuff. Hey, remember when Kathy Powell and Dion, they gave me a birthday party at the hotel? I think, Lorenzo, you were there. Yeah, I think you were in Richmond at the time.
Yeah.
We had that party in the hotel, and David Lawrence, everybody was there. I think everybody came. They gave me a surprise party in the hotel. They booked the top floor penthouse, and we partied like crazy.
I don't know if I was at that one, Vito.
I think you were there.
We gonna find the pictures.
You're still in DC.
It was in DC?
Yeah, it was in DC. I think the name of the hotel. The hotel was off of New York Avenue. Was it New York Avenue?
You got pictures?
I probably gotta go through my
Yes, if you come across, send me some of those pictures. I'll let you know if I was there. Because if it was on a Friday, I was probably working
at the club.
I was at the club. I was at the club. So, and then it may have been, there was sometimes where I did the live broadcast on Friday, and then there was sometimes I did it on Saturday night too.
I got you.
So, so I'm not sure. You don't remember the name of the hotel?
It was on 14th Street and K Street, on 14th and K. I can't think of the name of the hotel.
Right, I have to talk to Dion about that.
Yeah, I will. I got to reach out to him.
I got to get it. I ain't been to DC since I left town in 2003.
Dude, you wouldn't even recognize DC.
I heard it doesn't look like it used to.
Dude,
they spent some money in DC.
Okay. I heard they gentrified it.
Yes.
Sure enough.
All y'all folk got to go.
Your street don't look the same no more.
Look,
I heard they're trying to get rid of go-go in DC.
They sure did.
I'm like, how you get rid of go-go in DC?
They
That's
trying
like
to get
a rap in New York.
I do construction. Let me tell you something. Howard University, down off of Sherman and Euclid, off of New Hampshire Avenue. You know when they have the abandoned buildings, they call them shells. It's like you gotta tear it down.
Right.
Back in the day, you could buy property in DC for like $200,000 or $300,000. Today, down by Howard University, you can't buy an abandoned shell that you got to tear down for less than $1 million. That's how much the property value has gone up in DC. DC is
crazy,
DC
expensive.
is expensive. Take with CB83 says, I went to HU. DC ain't DC no more.
I told you, it's not, man. It's totally different, man. It's beautiful. They've actually fixed it up real nice. It's actually really nice.
Yeah, but we're not there anymore.
They made
running this out. We're running this out.
They said no, just made it the official music of DC. Okay, they voted on
Ben's Chili Bowl.
Ben's Chili Bowl.
Yeah, man.
That's the spot.
Yeah.
Is it still there? It's still there, right? It ain't going nowhere, right?
The original one is still there. It's the oldest black-owned restaurant in DC.
Okay.
And they opened a new one off of what is it? H Street. You wouldn't even recognize H Street. H Street was all black years ago. Now they got cafes, rock and roll emporium, streetcar. They got streetcars. You wouldn't even recognize it.
Is Anacostia still Anacostia?
It's still Anacostia, but it ain't what it used to be. Like Berry Farms is gone.
Ooh.
They leveled Berry
So
Farms.
the hood ain't no hood no more.
It ain't the hood no more. But it's still property down there.
Wanda said DC means done changed.
Yeah, Anacostia is not Anacostia no more.
Okay, all right.
You gotta come visit, bro.
Yeah, I gotta. Well, I'm coming up for the jazz festival. I might pop up to DC while I'm coming up.
You gotta come. Lorenzo, he living in the Sunshine State. He ain't worried about us back here.
I'll be up in that vicinity sometimes. I was up there for the CIAA. That's the last time I was in it.
Right. We got to go up there for CIAA. We got to go.
It's in Baltimore now, right?
Yeah. We'll be Legends of Troy will be back next year.
That's what's up.
So yeah.
He gets down.
Gentlemen, this has been awesome, man.
Bruh. So we're not gonna hold you up. For the folks that are checking us out, man, this is what we do each and every Thursday night. Man, we have a good time doing it. Make sure you check us out. Hit the Facebook like. Yeah, do that. As well as hit the notification button, as well as the subscription button on YouTube. Yeah. And man, I swear. Wanda says she got to go. We got to go too, Wanda.
Yeah, we got to go. We've been on here for like almost 2 hours, dude.
Yeah. Hey, but look, the record is about 3.5 hours.
Oh wow.
Okay. Who was that?
That was Tommy, man.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
No,
Tommy was telling all.
Tommy told on everybody. Yo, let me tell you, Tommy was so off the chain. I was like, I'm gonna let you say what you gonna say.
Yeah.
Them people still alive, shorty.
Yeah.
I don't want none of that smoke. Tommy told on Tommy Mottola. He told on Clive Davis. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tommy let it go.
Yeah, that show was official.
It's some stories, man.
Dude, he was so official. He had 2,000 views the first day.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch that one.
Oh yeah, go back and watch Tommy. He's go when you click on our YouTube channel, go look for Tommy.
All right,
Tommy Harrison. That boy said it all. I was like, I said, Lord have mercy. I don't want none of that smoke.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff we could talk about, but for purposes we keep it undisclosed. We just
That's true. That's true.
Let it go.
Put it in your book, Vito. Put it in your book.
Right?
Put it in your book. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, I'm gonna put you guys in the green room. Hang out for a second. I'm gonna close out the show and let's chat a few seconds.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do. It's called Shooting the Breeze Conversations with the DJ. We do this each and every Thursday night, and we want you to be a part of it. Make sure you hit the like button once again on Facebook, and if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the notification button as well as the subscribe button. Yeah, do that. And we'd like to thank the guys over at Miami Sports Music for allowing us to be on their network. They are always very gracious on letting us be a part of the show. So we will see you guys next week, and we out of here.